I am so excited to be here with you today. Oh, let me check my mic. Sorry, I thought I had pressed the mute button. It is an absolutely gorgeous day here north of Boston. As you can see, I'm not wearing a turtleneck or 27 fleeces like I normally do. My fingers are not blue, and it's in the 80s today. So we're going to wrap this up pretty quick because I want to get outside, although I have to do a ton of work. So who am I kidding? But let me know where you are watching from and what it's like where you are. I'm really excited about today's topic. So if you don't know who I am Julia Campbell, and I help nonprofits build their movements and engage their communities using social media and storytelling. And then this week, we are doing a special Facebook Live today on Wednesday. I normally do my Facebook Live chats on Friday at noon, but I'm headed to San Diego super early tomorrow to speak at the Boys and Girls Clubs of America conference, staff conference. I'm doing a whole workshop on storytelling for them. So I'll be in San Diego for 3 days. I am super excited. I'm going to see my family that's out there. I'm going to just enjoy San Diego. I love California so much, and just have a really super great time and do a great workshop. So that's why we're not doing it on Friday. Today, I want to talk about a few things. So I want to talk about 5 things that nonprofits should know, or at least be paying attention to, that came out of the first day of Facebook's F8 developer conference. So the first day was yesterday. I watched the entire video so that you don't have to. I watched the whole live stream. Oh, Mark Zuckerberg. I don't know. I don't hate him. I can't hate him. He's just adorable. I feel like he is just, when he was showing a video of himself with these crazy filters that made him look like a bunny, and he was talking about how his kids were laughing, and his kids are named Priscilla and Max, which I love those names. Anyway, never hated Mark. No hatred for Mark. I love him. He's a socially awkward nerd, which is like my favorite thing in the world. So what was he covering yesterday? So there were several themes. Oh, look, my mom is on here. Hi, Mom. My mom is my biggest Facebook Live fan. Bethesda, Maryland. Ooh, sunny Chico in Northern Cali. Awesome. Oh my God, I love California so much. I can't wait to be there tomorrow. So what happened yesterday at the F8 Facebook Developers Conference? You might not think that the Developers Conference is relevant to you or has implications for you, but it certainly does, okay? Because that's where they announced the new features and the new upcoming cool software or hardware or whatever they're developing. So the theme yesterday was clearly meaningful personal interactions, and I'll tell you what I mean more. So the first thing that Mark Zuckerberg said after a montage of videos of all the bad press that Facebook has received just this year alone. They did a whole montage about their bad press, which I thought was really fun. I thought that was kind of fun and kind of just tongue in cheek. He was saying, we need to take a broader view of our responsibility. It's not enough to just build powerful tools. We need to make sure that they're being used for good. Okay, so this was the theme that kind of ran throughout all of this. And the overall theme was how little technology tends to put people first, but how Facebook is really going to start focusing on people and relationships and how to put people first in the technology that they design. So they are going to get into the online dating game. We're not going to talk about that today, which I think is kind of crazy. They're just taking down everybody. They're going to take down Tinder. I don't know what they're going to do. But I am not going to talk about that today. So one of the very first things I wanted to talk about is that they announced a brand new privacy tool that they're going to be rolling out. It's called Clear History. So it lets you easily delete your history with any data that will be on apps and websites that you've interacted with. And Mark Zuckerberg posted about that yesterday. So it just still remains to be seen the details of that. But clearly, privacy control and data security is highly, highly important to them. I mean, as it should be and as it should have been this whole time. But clearly something that they're taking very seriously. So they're going to roll that out. They also, another theme that was running through all of the presentations was that they want to make Facebook not just fun, but good for people. Okay, what does that mean, right? So Facebook, when it's used for these quote unquote meaningful interactions and these interpersonal interactions, it actually can be good for your well-being. So people can feel more connected, they feel less lonely, they feel like they know what's going on, they feel part of a community. But when you're just kind of consuming content passively and looking at memes and recipes and things like that, those are not associated with the same benefits to well-being. So we all know about the big change to the Newsfeed that happened this year, and Mark touched on it a little bit because it's front and center in their dedication to bringing Facebook back to its roots of meaningful interactions between people. So what he said, and I think it's really important for nonprofits, anyone marketing on Facebook to understand, is that they are going to emphasize posts from publishers that are trusted, informative, local, and inspiring conversations between people. Okay, trusted, informative, local, inspiring conversations between people. That is something I firmly believe all nonprofits should be doing. And I've been saying this since the dawn of Facebook. Those are the 4 things that you should be doing on Facebook. So everyone is freaking out about the newsfeed change. Guess what? You guys should have been doing those 4 things all along. It's much easier said than done, but that's what it takes to succeed on Facebook. That's what it's always taken to succeed on Facebook. But even so, even more so now. Okay, so we're going to go really quickly through some of the 5 biggest announcements that I think Facebook made that have implications for nonprofits. Number 1, they called groups the most meaningful part of Facebook. So clearly they are placing an emphasis on groups. They claim that 1.4 billion people use groups every month. They're creating tools to make group admins' lives easier, which is nice because I manage a Facebook group, nonprofit social media storytelling, and there's upwards of 2,000 people in that group. And while it's an amazing group and everyone's awesome, I'm excited to see what the new tools are to help kind of inspire richer conversation and just make it easier to manage. Also, there's going to be a new groups tab, which is going to be in the navigation of the app, which will easily let you discover new communities that you want to be a part of and manage the groups that you're already a part of. So you can leave groups, join groups, discover groups, whatever you want to do, create groups. So groups, okay? Huge emphasis on groups. Number 2, Instagram. The way they described Instagram, I love it. I love when I hear how the developers describe these apps because it gives you an insight into how they want you to use them. So they describe Instagram as a place to come together around shared interests, which it could definitely benefit nonprofits because you serve a community that has a shared interest and a shared passion, right? So what they're going to do with Instagram, they're going to make it easier for people to find the communities that they want to interact with, that are around topics that they're passionate about. So they're revising the design for Explorer, which is the search function. So take a look in your app and see if it's updated. It's going to be all around topic channels, which just means that you need to be paying attention to your keywords, paying attention to your hashtags, paying attention to your location tags, just making sure that your Instagram is pretty tight in those ways so that people can find you, because there's a big push for people to find things they're interested in. Another announcement that may or may not have implications for you is the ability to do live video chat, either in a group or one-on-one via Instagram. So you don't have to have anyone's phone number. It's pretty cool. Number 3, I am very excited about this one. I need to do a lot more research on the implications of WhatsApp for nonprofits, but WhatsApp Business, they were sharing case studies of small, tiny businesses that have, 2 or 3 employees that are building their business on WhatsApp because of the ability of one-to-one and personal communication. So WhatsApp is an Android app, if you haven't heard of it, and I am not on WhatsApp personally because I just don't need another way for people to contact me. I already have my phone is blowing up notifications on every single app. So I don't have WhatsApp, but I do need to use it to explore sort of the possibilities for nonprofits. But it's really cool because you can send personalized greetings, you can send voice messages. So it might be something, especially if you're working in a developing country, or if you're working in the field a lot, it could be something to look into. So WhatsApp Business, they are pushing WhatsApp Business. They're developing new tools and features for that. So keep an eye out for that. Number 4 is virtual reality. That's something that is so exciting. They're building out a suite of tools to make virtual and augmented reality accessible for the masses. So accessible for the non-techie geek people, right? They really want to focus on these immersive experiences. And the theme running through everything is that they want to make you feel like you are in the room with the people that you want to connect with. So that's why all this video chat is happening, all this live video chat is happening. Groups are being pushed. Live video chat is now available on WhatsApp. Facebook really wants to encourage you to interact because they know that we don't talk on the phone anymore. So they want you to interact in person and feel like you're there with the people that you care about, which I think is pretty cool. So there's huge opportunities with virtual and augmented reality for immersive storytelling, and it's pretty exciting. And I can't wait to see what nonprofits do with it. It's pretty amazing. He also gave out the new Oculus Go to everyone at the F8 conference. So I wish I was there, but the Oculus Go is the VR headset that they're developing that's going to be affordable and accessible to more people. All right, so number 5, something I thought was really interesting. It's called Safety Check. So you know how if there is a disaster or a terrorist attack, for instance, the terrorist attack in Toronto where 10 people died, my family lives literally next to the street where that happened, and they walk on the street where it happened all the time. So Safety Check was really helpful because they could check in immediately and let everybody know that they were okay. I'm sure you've seen Safety Check like in Puerto Rico and during Hurricane Harvey. So they're augmenting Safety Check. What I think is very interesting for nonprofits is what they want to do is have the ability for businesses and NGOs be able to offer services to people right when they need it. So like food, water, supplies, shelter, and have people be able to organize supply drives and communicate with each other in real time as this is all happening. So I think that's very cool. The other thing is that they're going to roll out something called crisis response, where people have the ability to take live video and it's filtered in through a Safety Check, so you can see what's going on in real time. So that's pretty cool. So more abilities to reach people with assistance and aid when they need it. So it's very, very cool. Okay. Oh, Philly suburbs here. Danvers. Hi, Lisa. Kingston, New York. Yay. I love it. Thank you guys for coming. I'm so excited. Okay. So the other thing I wanted to talk about today, and also there's a second day of Facebook F8 Developers Conferences today. So be trying to watch it today, take some notes, let you know what to pay attention to. There's a lot. I wrote a post this week. Monday's blog post was all about 3 more announcements. Facebook is just on a roll here. And I think I know why. They want to combat, of course, all the bad press. They want to combat the optics of their CEO testifying before Congress. They want to make Facebook be a force for good again. So they're rolling out 3 new features for Facebook fundraisers. So Facebook fundraisers work like crowdfunding sites. If I say I want to raise $3,000 for the local domestic violence program in honor of my birthday or something like that, I can set it up and I can invite people and I can update people. And it's like a little mini event fundraiser page that individual users set up. They're called Facebook fundraisers. So the 3 things that are new with those is that individuals can now pledge to match donations in any amount. And Facebook is saying from $5 to $2,500. So I don't know why the limit is $2,500, but hey, so you can now pledge to match donations made from your networks, which is really cool. Facebook also added a few more categories to the personal fundraising space. I'm pretty sure they're trying to compete with GoFundMe and Kickstarter and Indiegogo and all of those different crowdfunding platforms. I am not going to talk about the pros and cons here because I've talked about it exhaustively on my blog. And the biggest news I find is that they announced they're going to be eliminating all fees on these personal Facebook fundraisers. So you might remember that Giving Tuesday 2017, Facebook announced the big matching gift with the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, and then they also announced they were eliminating all fees donated to nonprofits via Facebook payments. So that's the donate button on ads and posts and Facebook Live. That's any donation made to a nonprofit directly within Facebook. So the thing was that they still had really high fees on these personal fundraising pages. So they could be up to 6.9%. It was kind of vague. You never really knew how much the fee was going to be. So it looks like they're going to eliminate these fees. Of course, there's still going to be a small payment processing fee. So there you have it. That's probably, I said there was going to be 5 updates. There's like 10 different announcements to Facebook that you need to pay attention to as a nonprofit marketer, as anyone in the social media space. If you have any questions, let me know. Okay, let's see. Maybe we have a question here, or questions or a comment. Let me know, and I'm happy to answer them here or answer them over in the Facebook group. I will post a link to the Facebook group. It is facebook.com/groups/social media storytelling. If you want to join the group, it's totally free, obviously, to join. I'm also doing a live webinar with Nonprofit Connect, all about how to use Facebook's free fundraising tools for your nonprofit. So check out that webinar. I will also post that in the comment. Okay. Michelle says, I'm finding that my peers are not posting as much on Facebook these days. I'm wondering if it has to do with the bad press on Facebook and their lack of knowledge about how Facebook is trying to improve. How do we access baby boomers and older to ensure them that Facebook is safe? That is a really good question. That's a very good question. I think that Facebook is doing a good job. Nobody has a bigger PR budget than Facebook. They might need to hire some better publicists, but I think the best thing that you can do, if this is your age group or if you find that your peers are becoming, more and more skeptical about using Facebook, I just think empowering them or helping them understand that there are privacy controls in place. I definitely think it's a generational thing because younger people do not seem as upset or as interested, or they just don't seem as up in arms about this. And that might be because they're digital natives and they've grown up with their entire life online. They've grown up with email and phones and internet connectivity. So they don't understand, not that they don't understand, it just doesn't bother them as much. I don't know. I don't really think it's our job to tell people that Facebook is safe. It's Facebook's job. It's not really my job to tell people whether or not they should be on Facebook. It's my job to give you the information and then let you make an educated decision about whether or not you want to use Facebook for marketing or for personal use. So I don't know. I don't see us being Facebook ambassadors. I think like anything else, there's a downswing and there's, since it's been in the news so much, there's going to be sort of a downtick in usage, but then I'm pretty sure it's going to go back to normal. I don't know. I have been posting on Facebook less also, but I've been posting more on Instagram, which is owned by Facebook. So I don't know. I think there's just like ebbs and flows, and we kind of have to ride this one out. That's just kind of my opinion. Whoa, okay. Any news on whether Facebook is going to stop treating nonprofit pages like businesses? No, they're never going to stop treating Facebook pages like businesses. I mean, nonprofits. They're just never going to. There's no incentive for them to. Other than eliminating the fees on donations, which is pretty cool. I don't think they have to do that, but all public pages, they don't call them business pages. They call them public pages and publishers. So if you're a nonprofit, you are a publisher like anybody else. You are a publisher of content that is public facing, and Facebook treats all publishers like that. And let's go back to what they said they're going to emphasize. The publishers and public pages that will succeed in the newsfeed are trusted, informative, local, and they are inspiring conversations between people. If you do those 4 things, if you're a trusted resource in your space, if you're providing valuable information, if you are local and you're focused locally on getting people together, getting people interested in events locally, if you are inspiring conversations between people, that's how you're going to succeed on Facebook. And that's really always been the case, but that's what they're kind of emphasizing now. Okay, we got a lot of comments. Jim says, think the current Facebook problem is a fantastic reminder that it should primarily be an email sourcing mechanism. Yes, this is something else I've always said. Social media is the frosting on the cake, okay? It's rented land. So you need to focus on your website. You need to focus on email list building because you own those properties. You own the content on your website. You own your email list. Granted, if you don't get your emails from permission marketing, if you bought the email list, you don't own it. But if it's people that have signed onto your email list that want to hear from you, you own that. That is a huge asset, and that is worth so much more than Facebook likes and Facebook followers. And thank you, Jim, for pointing that out. Sarah says, we have a really large number of followers on our Facebook page, but we don't seem to inspire a lot of donations from the page every time we ask. Is this the function of how we ask or a function of how Facebook posts to everyone's feed? It could be a combination of both. So what works on Facebook are timely, relevant, urgent asks. So when you are fundraising on Facebook, what tends to work, what I know works, is if you have a very specific goal in mind and you're asking for specific amounts. So we need to raise $5,000 to build a playground this summer. Every $10 helps XYZ. And focus on smaller donations because Facebook is not the place for major gifts. Yeah, you might get a $1,000 donation from Facebook. Yes, it's happened, of course, but that's not the place where it's really going to happen. And the challenge with fundraising on Facebook is it's really best if you can get people to do it for you. If you can get those peer-to-peer fundraisers, because that is what is going to work. People will be much more likely to give if a friend or trusted colleague or a family member is asking them. But if you're having a specific campaign, if you have a matching gift, give in the next 24 hours and we'll unlock our matching gift. If you can tie it somehow to current events, like I just read this amazing article about, this clinic in Kenya that rejected the global gag rule and they lost $2 million in US aid. And you better believe I immediately went and donated to them. I was like, I'm going to donate to them. So if it's timely and urgent and something that is, inspiring people to donate, it's going to be easier. General operating and, annual funds, it just doesn't really work on Facebook. But it could also be a function of Facebook just not showing it to, a critical mass of people. And that's where maybe boosting the post could come in, creating a Facebook ad campaign could come in. So there's multiple reasons, but not relying on Facebook for fundraising, having it be just a tool in your tool belt, relying on email predominantly, relying on, word of mouth, relying on peer-to-peer, relying on your board, your volunteers, your staff to spread the word about it. That those traditional ways of fundraising actually work when they're transferred over to a platform like Facebook. So, well, thank you, everybody. I don't like to go more than 20, 25 minutes. I know it's Friday. I wish it was Friday. I know it's Wednesday. It's beautiful outside. If you're anywhere around Massachusetts, I hope you have a fantastic day outside. If you're in California or Florida or anywhere else, you're going to have a nice day. I hope so. So have a fantastic rest of your week. Thank you, Sarah. If you think of any more questions, feel free to leave them in the comments, and I do monitor the comments. Email me or join the Facebook group, and we can continue the conversation. All right. Thank you so much, and have a fantastic rest of your day.